Time for the best of the best. Today is actually July, so half of the year is gone. I can't believe it's July already, so I'm actually going to share with you today, designer and niche, the best releases of each one of these categories, in my opinion, of course. So 6 niche, 6 designer, broke down for you so you guys can check these out if you haven't already, because these are all fire releases. So stick around, it's up next. Welcome to another video. I'm 𝗥𝗿𝗄𝗏. If you love to make a great first impression, if you love, most importantly, to smell great, this is a great place to be. So leave a like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you show your support, and if you want these videos straight into your feed, hit the bell so you guys are the first ones to get. So today we're talking about, as you saw, great fragrance releases 2022, designer and niche. We're going to kick things off with the designers, and I'll leave niche for last. As you know, niche is more intricate, more complex for the most part, so I will leave the niche releases for last. Let's start with this one here from Acqua di Gio. This is going to be a flanker of a all-time favorite fragrance, Acqua di Gio, and by now you should know I'm talking about the 2022 release, Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum. I love this fragrance. If you want to see more about this fragrance, full review and also in detail about all the flankers of this collection, I'm going to pop it up here so you guys can see that. But just wanted to mention this fragrance as one of my favorites because what they did here is they combined the original DNA of Acqua di Gio with a more mineral green and mature approach, which I really, really enjoyed. And of course, there's a vetiver here in the base that is just heavenly. Another release that I love from the designer side of things is going to be Drakkar Intense, which a lot of people think it's a flanker of Drakkar Noir, but in fact, it's a flanker of the 1972 Drakkar, the original release. So this is 50 years in the making. And what I love about this fragrance is what they did here is they took the original Fougère DNA, that green aromatic lavender / oak moss, and they embellished it with some amazing components like absinthe, like this rum, boozy kind of accord. There's a lot of spices here, like cinnamon, for example. It's green, it's spicy, it's boozy, it's absolutely fantastic. A great flanker that you guys can actually find it on the low. This is a very kind of easy to find out at discounters for actually a really good price. So I highly suggest you guys checking this out. I love this. This is an all year round fragrance. It is better suited for fall and winter, but you can actually pull this off all year round if you control the sprayers, as opposed to the Acqua di Gio Eau de Parfum, which I think is better for spring and summer. Speaking of greatness for spring and summer, the weather we have right now, this is absolutely perfection for the weather right now. This is going to be the DIOR Homme Sport Edition 2022, and this is actually an amazing fragrance. I love what they did here. They have that gingery grapefruit opening here that's very sparkly, very fizzy, very inviting, just perfection for the summertime. But what I like here is that they infused it with a nice woody vetiver base, which made the fragrance long-lasting, appealing, and definitely sophisticated. This is a more, again, mature. I see a lot of companies doing that. They're really harping into having fragrances that are elegant, sophisticated, a little bit more mature, not aged, but definitely more mature. This is a great choice here, guys. A great one to just grab and go. You don't want to think too much. You want to smell good. This will do the job. Before I continue with the designers, guys, you know that you can find all of these fragrances at FragranceBy.ca, which is a partner of this channel. There are codes and anything associated with FragranceBy.ca, of course. I'll have it in the description of this video to make your lives easier, which is what we do here. But if you love fragrances that are on the low, if you love fragrances that are new releases, hard to find, rare gems, FragranceBy.ca is your one-stop place. Another great one that I love this year was from Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is going to be the 𝗿𝗿𝗏𝗏, which is just greatness. It's also good for this time of the year, especially for evening wear, dressier occasions. This is going to have this real nice santan lotion, coconut, tanning lotion kind of a thing. But it's also a fragrance that has darker notes and has almost like a boozy tropical drink vibe to it. It is very sensual, very seductive. And let me tell you, ladies love the smell of this. Even when it comes to like stealing sprays, they will steal sprays from you because they're gonna love the way this stuff smells. So this is a great one. If you love compliments, definitely check this one out. I think they did a great job with taking that DNA, that coconut, creamy vibe, and just amplifying and making it more intense. Le Parfum, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Le Beau. Now this one here was love at first spray. I love this stuff. This is Givenchy Gentleman from the Gentleman collection. This is Reserve Privée, long name. I really wanted to check this fragrance out when I learned about it, late last year. And as soon as I could get this, I think it was around springtime, I pulled the trigger because it just smells fantastic. It's going to be the iris, cocoa, creamy vibe, similar to DIOR Homme Intense. It's in the same genre, the same vein of fragrances, but I love the leathery base that you get here with that patchouli, which is very creamy, but also a little bit earthy. This fragrance has some depth, it has transition. It's one of those very elegant and sophisticated kind of fragrances, and not more of the same. Of course, very similar to Valentino Uomo, Valentino Uomo Intense, DIOR Homme, DIOR Intense. But because Valentino has discontinued those fragrances and Dior has reformulated their fragrances, I think this is a great choice if you like that almost boozy, creamy, cocoa/iris leathery kind of a vibe profile. This does a great job. This last one from the designer side of things, this is recently released, also from Armani, but not from the Giorgio Armani, but from the Emporio Armani side. The Stronger With You Oud, a great scent, guys. I also reviewed it for you. I did a first impression / mini review. I'll pop it up here. Definitely worth checking out. If you love oud, I think this could be redundant because you're gonna have tons of oud fragrances in your collection, but if you're getting into fragrances, if you're getting into oud or more daring, mysterious kind of fragrances, you're going to love this. I'm not gonna get too much into it. It's just a great oud fragrance that is resinous, opulent, rich, luxurious. Check out the link here. You're gonna know all about this stuff. Amazing. I'm getting into the niche fragrances now, best releases of 2022, but before I do that, you know that you can try any fragrances before you buy them. Indie, designer, or niche at perfume.com, guys. Check out details below, use my code or any other better codes that you have in the description of this video or here on the screen, and enjoy, guys. And also join the Perfume Crew for extra savings, monthly giveaways of brand new bottles, and much more, guys. Details below. Perfume.com, the one stop for trying fragrances before you buy them. Now we're getting into the niche, the creme de la creme. This is going to be my favorite niche fragrance releases of 2022 so far. Of course, there's the other half of the year, so stay tuned. And also understand that all fragrances talked about here have been featured on First Impressions, top videos. These are stuff that I really enjoy, and there's a lot more to come. So at the end of the year, I'll give you top discoveries and top releases of the year all together. But starting here, we're gonna go with this one right here, which I love. It's a brand from Paris, from Paris. This is going to be a fragrance brand that combines the beauty of music and the niche perfumery. This is going to be L'Orchestre Parfum, and this is going to be Vetiver Overdrive. As you guys know, I love vetiver-based scents, and this one here knocked it out of the park. It's a beautiful vetiver scent with ambroxan. A lot of people, it's a misconception, you think ambroxan is overly done. Yes, it's true, it's overly done, but ambroxan is a great smelling compound. It's a synthetic compound that really enhances compositions, and they did that exactly perfectly here. Very well blended. There's not too much ambroxan, just enough. But the vetiver is the star player. And this fragrance here, just so you have an idea, it's very similar to 𝗿𝗏𝗏𝗏 from Byredo, but this is actually a more intense version of that. Hence the name Vetiver Overdrive. And the inspiration here was the blues from the bayou, from New Orleans. So it's going to be a very vibrant type of a vetiver scent. If you love vetivers, this is a must try. Also with vetiver here, this is another fragrance which is not really a vetiver-based scent like Vetiver Overdrive that I just talked about, but it works wonders for dressier evening type of attire or more luxurious kind of a settings. It's going to be Gris Charnel, and this is going to be from BDK Parfums. This is the extract edition of this fragrance, and what I love about this one is it's got a gorgeous Mysore sandalwood note here that makes the scent very creamy. And it has a bourbon vetiver kind of an undertone, which adds this booziness and very luxurious feel to the fragrance. Definitely androgynous. A guy or a gal can pull this off beautifully. It's a very room-filling type of a scent. When you wear this and if you dress the part, you walk into a room, you're gonna attract attention. There's no two ways about it. People are gonna wanna know what you're wearing. It's one of those scents. Right now, the whole room is taken by this. It's very concentrated, and if you spray your clothes like myself and your skin, believe me, this will be with you the whole day, and you're gonna love it. Next up, we have a fragrance from FLORIS London, a fragrance brand that's been around since 1730s, 1700s. So it's a fragrance that made fragrances for royalty, for kings and queens. This is Platinum 22, ladies and gentlemen. I love this scent because it's iris-based. And you know how much I love iris. It's one of my favorite floral notes. But it's not just an iris-based scent. It's got this beautiful leathery tonka kind of a vibe undertone. The tonka here is, or the coumarin, is very beautifully done. You have some black currant here, which adds the sweetness to the scent. And there's a cedarwood, black peppery, black tea kind of for undertone that makes the scent just intrinsic, just hypnotizing. Trust me, guys, FLORIS Platinum 22. If you love a musky iris and very alluring type of a fragrance, check this out. Before I give you guys the last 3 favorite releases of 2022, since we're talking about niche, I wanted to share with you a special event that happens every year, first weekend in December, Scent Explore. Guys, explore, discover, share, and connect. That's what the event is all about. It's about us, fragrance aficionados, fragrance lovers, like-minded individuals. If you guys came in 2019, you felt the passion in that room. So it's all about sharing, talking, having fun, and trying and discovering amazing niche fragrances. So all details below, guys. Go to the website, check it out. It's limited for virtual and in person. So if you want to know all there is to know about the event, check out the website, @scentexplore.com. I really, truly hope to see you guys in person and have a great time this year at Scent Explore 2022 4th Annual. Next up, we have a fragrance from a brand that always surprises me. The brand is Scents of Wood, and this fragrance here is called Hinoki. And Hinoki, this is a fragrance that I absolutely love. I'm wearing a lot of it right now. It is just perfection for this time of the year. The Hinoki wood, which is actually a type of cypress. It's very green, very coniferous, just breathtaking. And what these people do, Scents of Wood, I love the process, the creative process, as Fabrice, the owner, describes, is giving total and complete freedom for perfumers to choose the elements, ingredients, and making each fragrance their own quote-unquote tree. So I love this stuff, guys. Hinoki and Hinoki, as you guys know, Plum and Cognac is a favorite of mine, and there's other ones. Vetiver and Bourbon is another one that I love. So definitely check this brand. I see a lot of people not really knowing this brand. This is a great hidden gem in the niche world that you guys must check out if you love intriguing and different, off the beaten path kind of fragrances like this one. Next up, we have a controversial one. This one got a lot of limelight, but also some hate, and I don't understand why. This stuff is great. I'm talking about Roger Parfums Apex. People complain about the font, they complain about the bottle scheme, the color, the details. Guess what, guys? The juice is amazing, and I'm gonna tell you why it's amazing. If you're familiar with Tom Ford Private Blend, and you know I love that particular line of fragrances. In particular, we're talking about Italian cypress, a little bit of moss brush, which, intriguing enough, are my two favorite from the Private Blend, and you can find components from both of the fragrances I'm talking about, Italian cypress and moss brush, here in this fragrance. It is absolutely incredible. Think of Zeno from Davidoff. It's got that very spicy undertone, some green coniferous. We're talking moss, tobacco, leather, spices. This is fire. There's nothing to it. Amazing stuff. And last but not least, from Keurig NYC, everyone, we have a fragrance called Central Park. I spoke highly of this fragrance to you guys so many times, and what this is an escapism. Think about the jungle of cities out there. You know, if you live near a city, I know where you live, but I live near New York City, so it's like a jungle of buildings, people running around, you're always busy, you're stressed, you're on the phone, emails. So if you want a fragrance that just puts a smile on your face, this one here does it. It's like, you know, the big skyscrapers with a garden up top. Or if you take a stroll to Central Park, which was actually the inspiration behind this fragrance. It took notes from Suntel Sky, which is a beautiful, creamy, sandalwood-based scent, and added a lot of green components here and floral components like the gardenia flowers. This is a tremendous fragrance, great value proposition, guys. I'm telling you, Keurig NYC is where it's at. If you like fragrances that are different, that are uplifting, refreshing, really, literally put a smile on your face, these guys do it very well. Sustainability, pricing, and of course, performance and the actual smells themselves. As always, everyone, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. I really, really hope to see you guys at Scent Explore 2022 this year. It's gonna be a great event, 2 days, details below. Don't miss it. And of course, I'm gonna wear Vetiver Overdrive today, which is, like I said, a great vetiver-based scent with the blues kind of a music, you know, thing in mind. So as always, stay tuned for a lot more, and I'll see you right back here with another video very soon. Take care.